Hello friends, welcome to Rayak Shikshan Samstha's Rose Project for 11th Science conducted by Yeshwantrao Chauhan Institute of Science, Satara. Myself, Pallavi Utkarsh Bhosle. I am physics teacher. We will discuss topic optics. या टॉपिक मध्ये आपण रिफ्रॅक्शन, टोटल इंटरनल रिफ्लेक्शन, ऍप्लिकेशन ऑफ टोटल इंटरनल रिफ्लेक्शन आणि लेन्स या पॉइंटचा अभ्यास करणार आहोत. Refraction, also total internal reflection, its example is familiar with us, that is a refraction of pencil or rainbow. Also diamonds are examples of total internal reflections. We are familiar with this diamond. या सगळ्या एक्झाम्पलचा आपण दैनंदिन जीवनात आपण ह्या गोष्टी पाहत आहोत. तसंच काही ऑब्जेक्ट्स बघितलेले आहेत की गणपती डेकोरेशन साठी आपण वापरतो. त्याच्यामध्ये हे ऑब्जेक्ट तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी तुमच्या सगळ्यांच्या परिचित आहे. तसंच ऑप्टिकल फायबर, ज्या केबल्स वगैरे आहेत तर त्या तुम्ही पाहिलेल्या आहेत. दिस इज अ इम्पॉर्टंट एक्झाम्पल रिलेटेड टू ऑप्टिकल फायबर. तसंच काही गोष्टी आपण पाण्यात टाकलेल्या ज्या वस्तू आहेत, मग अशी पेन्सिल पाहिली ती बेंड झालेली होती. सपोज हा जो फिश आहे तर तो फिश काय आहे तर आहे त्या पोझिशन पासून वरती दिसतोय, म्हणजे इट्स रियल डेप्थ is different and apparent depth is different. That is the difference between these two depths. या सगळ्या गोष्टींचा आपण या लेक्चर मध्ये अभ्यास करणार आहोत. तसेच काही लेन्स पार्टचाही आपण अभ्यास करणार आहोत की लेन्सवर एमसीक्यू ओरिएंटेड खूप काही क्वेश्चन्स विचारले जातात. तर या गोष्टी सगळ्या आपण या लेक्चर मध्ये आपण पाहणार आहोत.
Now we will discuss refraction. Refraction is related to Snell's law. Consider here one of the glass plate. Incident ray incident on this glass plate and refract from this glass plate and emergent out here. When this incident ray incident on this glass and this refracted ray bend toward the normal. This is a normal. According to Snell's law, refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium, we can write sin I upon sin R. That is a ratio of angle of incidence to the ratio of angle of refraction. Now we will see absolute refractive index. What is mean by absolute refractive index? That is ratio of speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in a medium. All of you know the speed of light in vacuum is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. This is important relation between refractive index and various terms. Here refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium, we can write here or take a ratio of velocity of light in first medium to the velocity of light in a second medium. Also we can take the ratio of absolute refractive index is equal to C upon V. Similar way, in terms of refractive index of both media, we can write N2 upon N1. That is a N2 is here refractive index of this glass and N1 is a refractive index of this medium. Now according to reversibility principle of light, suppose the ray passes to denser to rare, then we can write here 1 upon 2N1. That is a refractive index of first with respect to second. We can rearrange this equation. 2N1, that is a N1 upon N2. So we get again by arranging equation N2 upon N1. Now next is real depth upon apparent depth. We will see its proof. That is a real depth upon apparent depth is equal to refractive index of second medium with respect to first. Real depth and apparent depth. Consider here one of the glass slab. Its refractive index, consider here n. This is the object O placed bottom at this glass plate. So its real depth of this object or height of this glass slab is r, and O is put here, that is object is put here. So real depth of object is equal to capital R here. When we see from the top of this glass slab, object of this image of this object, we can see or appeared at a point I. So this is the apparent depth A. Now send the incident rays from this object, that is a OA and OB, both are incident rays. Now this is a here normal, this is the angle of incidence between incident ray and this normal. So when we send the incident ray from denser to rare medium, this refracted ray go away from this normal because ray passes through denser to rare medium. Now according to this geometry, consider here angle is very small. So I and R to be small. According to this case, we can write sin I upon sin R is equal to I upon R, because all these angles are very small, and sin I is equal to I, or a similar way we can write a tan I and tan R is equal to sin I upon sin R. So this geometry we can write first of all here tan I. Let us see, tan I is near about sin I, because this geometry I and R, it is very small. So this geometry we can write according to this triangle and trigonometry, tan I is equal to x upon this side, that is a real depth or R. So we can write tan I is equal to x upon R, nearly equal to sin I. Similar way, consider here next triangle. Suppose here I can draw here one of the line here. Okay, so we get a new triangle IO up to this point. So this R and this total is R, because here opposite angle is here. So this is a R, angle of refraction, R, total angle. According to geometry, we can write tan R is equal to front side, that is this one. Yellow line is a front side of this angle R. So this is equal to X. So we can write tan R is equal to X upon this apparent depth. That is a image will be appear at a point I. So this is a capital A. We get X upon A is equal to sin R. So according to Snell's law, we can write N is equal to sin R upon sin I, because N2 upon N1. So put all these equation in this equation, we get a sin R upon sin I is equal to X upon A upon X upon R. So rearrange the equation, and here X will be cancelled here. We get R upon A. So R upon A is nothing but real depth upon apparent depth. Now move on a new point. This is a very important point related to critical angle. What is a critical angle? when light passes from denser medium to rare medium. For angle of incidence, corresponding angle becomes 90 degree, that is a refracting angle becomes 90 degree. We get critical angle. This is the angle of incidence is known as a critical angle. At a particular angle of incidence in a denser medium, the corresponding angle of refraction in the rare medium is 90 degree. According to Snell's law, we can write refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium is equal to sin I upon sin R. All of you know this is relation related to Snell's law or refractive index. Consider here, this is a denser medium, its refractive index n consider here. And suppose second medium is air, its refractive index 1. All of you know refractive index of vacuum and or air is equal to 1. So first of all, case this consider this case, sin I upon sin R is equal to sin IC upon sin R. This is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of refraction. So we can write sin IC upon sin 90. All of you know sin 90 is equal to 1. So we get this equation, and also we can write this Snell's law related to refractive index. N2 upon N1 is equal to sin IC upon 1. That means here value of sin 90 is equal to put here 1. We get 1 upon N. Why 1 upon N here? Refractive index of second medium here air. So its value is equal to 1. And refractive index of first medium here, consider here N. So we get value of N1 is equal to N is equal to sin IC upon 1. So final equation we get 1 and 2, that is a refractive index of second medium with respect to first is equal to 1 upon sin IC. New concept, that is a total internal reflection. See this diagram. Here angle of incidence will be changed here. Then we get a refracted angle. It is a different way. See here, angle of incidence increases. Here angle of incidence, it will be refract in next medium. When we increase the angle of incidence, we get again critical angle. This, when we again increase the angle of incidence, then critical angle, we get a total internal reflection. What is the condition of total internal reflection? First condition, light rays passes through denser to rare medium. Second one, it is very important, I greater than IC. That is a angle of incidence must be greater than critical angle of that medium. See this image. All of you clear from this image? Total internal reflection. See carefully. Suppose dotted lines here represent normals, and this is the optical denser medium below here, and above the optical rare medium. This line represent interface of these two media. Now, this is the incident ray first. Okay, this angle of incidence here I1. Then we get refracted ray. It is a bend away from this normal. So here angle of refraction will be increased than angle of incidence because ray passes through optically denser medium to optically rare medium. So again, take a next incident ray here. Okay, incident on this point, and again we get and increases here angle of refraction because here I2 is a increases here. Next ray this one here, I3 is put here or equal to IC, then we get angle of refraction is equal to 90 degree. Here is some mistake. Here I3 is equal to IC. So consider here I3 is equal to IC, that is here critical angle. That angle of critical angle, we get the corresponding refraction is a 90 degree. When we increase the angle of refraction greater than critical angle, this is a fourth ray, incident on this point, and it is a totally reflected back in a same medium, because this angle of incidence, it is greater than critical angle, and we get the angle of reflection. That is here I4 is equal to I4 according to laws of reflection. We get here this angle is equal to this angle. We get totally internal reflected ray here. This is very important concept related to total internal reflection.
Hello friends. Now we will move on a next point, optical fiber. This is one of the application of total internal reflection. Question is like that way. Describe the construction and working of optical fiber. So now start application of total internal reflection. Fiber optics is a application of the one of the application of total internal reflection. First of all, we see here construction. See here is a flexible transparent core, optically denser than cladding. Here outer cover is a core is known as a cladding. Optical fiber consists of extremely thin, transparent and flexible core surrounded by an optically rare flexible cover called this is a cladding. For a protection, whole system is coated by buffer and jacket. This is a buffer and jacket of this optical fiber. Entire thickness of the fiber is less than half mm. Many such a fiber can be packed together in outer cover, that is a buffer and jacket. Working of this optical fiber. Now, it is based on principle of total internal reflection. An optical signal enter the core, suffers multiple total internal reflections before emerging out. It suffers many total internal reflections. The optical signals travel with highest possible speed in the material. The emerged optical signals has extremely low loss in a single strength. See here. Incident ray incident on this core, and it suffers many total internal reflections and emergent out from other side. So again, I repeat here, it is a extremely thin, transparent and flexible core. It suffers multiple total internal reflections. So it is a very important use in communication. So now we will see advantages of optical fiber communication. This is optical fiber, we can see here. First advantages, broadband width. For TV signal, a single optical fiber can carry over 90,000 independent signals. Second one, UMINI to EM interface. That means optical fiber being electrical non-conducting does not pick up nearby EM signals. Third one, low attenuation loss. Loss being lower than 0.2 dB per kilometer. A single signal long cable can be used for several kilometers. Fourth one, electrical insulator. Optical fiber being electrical insulator, ground loop of metal, wire or lightning do not cause any harm. Next one, theft prevention. That is, a optical fiber does not use copper or other expensive material which are prone to be robbed. Next one is a security of information. Internal damage is most unlikely to occur, keeping the information secure. All of you know this is the apparatus in Ganpati decoration. We can see this is one of the apparatus to see in Ganpati decoration. See here, it is one of the example of optical fiber. See next, that is for security information or theft prevention. We can use optical fibers. Second application is a periscope. See figure of periscope. It is used to see the object on the surface of water body from inside of water is called periscope. It consists of two right angle prisms. The incident ray of light are reflected twice through this prism. Total internal reflections occurs inside these prisms and a clear view of the surface of water is obtained. This object used for see the object on the surface of water body from inside water. The rays of light reflected twice through the right angle. Next application is a binocular. See here figure of prism binocular. The prism binocular consists of 4 isosceles right angles prism of material having critical angle less than 45. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 isoscale right angle prisms. It is made one of the material, its critical angle is less than 45 degree. Prism binocular have a wider input range compared to traditional binocular. Their wider input range as compared to traditional binocular. Light rays incident on the prism binocular first get total internal reflection by isoscale right angle prism 1 and 4. These reflected rays undergo total internal reflection by prism 2 and 3. From final image we get by using these two prisms, that is a 2 and 3. Now new point is a lenses. Type of lenses. All of you know two types of lenses, that is a convex types, and second is a concave types. Convex lens is usually two internal cross sections of two spheres. Lens is said to be convex if it is a thicker in the middle and narrowing toward the periphery. In opposite way, we can say in related to concave types, a lens is a concave if it is a thicker at a periphery and narrow down toward center, and it has a negative focal length, and convex types of lens has a positive focal length. All of you know these two lenses. Again, three types. That is the first type in convex lens. That is this is a biconvex lens. That is the two sides of this convex lens is a like that way. Next type is a plano-convex lens. That is one surface is plane and other surface is a convex. And third type, that is a concavo-convex. That is a one part of this lens or surface of this lens is a one is a concave and other is a convex. In concave type lenses, here first type is a biconcave. That is a both of this surface of this lens is a concave. Next one is a plano-concave lens. That is one surface is a plane and other surface is a concave. Next one is a convexo-concave lens. That is a here one part is a convex and second part or second surface is a concave. This is a type of lenses. Now we will see combination of lenses. See here, I have taken here two lenses. This is a biconvex lens and this is a biconcave lens. Its focal length, first having focal length 20 centimeter and second one having focal length f is equal to 15 centimeter. When we join together all these lenses, what will be the new focal length? So we will see again one of the example. Take here biconvex lenses. These are two biconvex lenses. Here is one of the object placed on the principal axis of these two lenses. We get the final image at the eye. See here. All of you know for any thin lenses, focal length can be calculated by using this formula, that is 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon v minus 1 upon u. Combination of focal length we can calculate by using this formula, that is 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 plus 1 upon f3 plus up to how many lenses we join here. We can take plus 1 upon f and up to. We can use formula related to power of these lenses, that is 1 upon f1 is nothing but p1. That is a power we can write p is equal to 1 upon f. So we can write here p1 plus p2 plus p3 up to pn. So in short, we can write here summation of pi is equal to p here. Another way we can write combination of focal length 1 upon f is equal to summation of 1 upon fi. Here I going from 1 to n. Suppose these two lenses separated by certain distance. Suppose this is biconvex lens and this is biconcave lens, separated by using distance d here. First having focal length 20 centimeter and second having focal length minus 30 centimeter. Now, for only two thin lenses separated in air by distance d, so we can write here formula 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 minus d upon f1 f2. So we can write here p1 plus p2 minus d p1 p2 is equal to p is this is a power of this both combination of lenses.